Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Hey, look, got a question for ya. What do you do if you notice in your marriage that the spark has seemed to dim or is going out? Hey, let's talk about that and much more here on this episode of Couples Pursuit Live.
Yeah. Couples Pursuit. Yes.
Hello, this is Vincent.
And Valerie.
Woodard. Sorry about that.
It's us, y'all. And tonight on Couples Pursuit, we're going to talk about 5 ways to date your spouse again.
Yes. If you think this is something that you or someone you know might be interested in, look, I urge you to share this video with them. We're going to talk about not just dating, because in order to date your spouse, we're not talking about, hey, it's a set date night, because we do that. That's great. But we're talking about actually making a commitment to, like, reignite the spark. Making the commitment to actually improving, the connection that you once had or you do have, and you just want to make it stronger. So these 5 ways are really, I say date, but it starts with that. It's starting with the willingness to want to connect with one another, wanting to hang out with one another, wanting to, get more close. Get those good old days when you might go on, baby. You remember we used to hang out in the car, 1 foot out the door,
in the summer, in the fall, just let the air blow.
We just wanted to
talk about whatever.
Yeah. So,
just for no reason at all.
Yeah. So that's you or someone that you know. I urge you to smash that like button, share this video with them, and also leave a comment if these 5 ways that help you or something else that you thinking about, maybe they can help the group. We'd love to share your comments with them, if it's something that we know it can be beneficial. So, babe, 5 ways to date your spouse again.
Well, you know what? What sticks out to me right now is the word again. Some marriages, we talked about in one of our last sessions, 7 reasons not to get married. Right. And so we talked about reasons that people do get married, but it's not necessarily the wrong reason.
That's right.
And when you've married someone for the wrong reason, whether you realize it or not, whether you've compromised or you thought that was enough to sustain you, once you find out that it's not, you may need to make some changes in order to not give up on the marriage, in order to fight for it. And then dating your spouse could be something you've never really done.
Yeah.
And so, yes, again, but also as a means of reboot.
Yes.
For your marriage, for your relationship. If things have changed, if you come off a rocky situation and you're having trouble communicating, one way to foster a good connection is to start to date one another.
That's true. That's true. And that leads to number 1.
Okay.
Is to try something new together. Okay, so one of the best ways to build a connection and foster it and fan the flame, as some would say, is to actually try something like new together, experience something new together. And it doesn't have to be some big grand gesture like you want to try all the islands out in the Cayman Islands or something. I mean, that's great, but I'm just saying something like taking another way home,
trying a different cuisine.
Yeah, trying
for
a
dinner
restaurant, or a restaurant if you're eating out, or something at home,
cooking something different together.
Just doing something out of your regular routine. Hopefully it's not so much so where you be like, well, I don't really want to try nothing new. I like what I like. Well, you like what you're used to, I believe.
Yeah, you don't know that you have an appetite for something unless you try it. And I usually use that in a way to disprove negative feelings and behavior, especially when it comes to mental health. But I want to share that in this light as well. Sometimes you don't know that you needed something until you've experienced that. And I think within a relationship, within the healthy confines of a relationship, where you make a conscious effort to to honor one another, to protect one another, to respect one another, so you don't introduce things into your relationship that would be harmful to one another. But trying to broaden your horizons. And we are not talking about bringing other people, other things into your relationship.
That's another topic. You know, people, it's a topic that we're going to discuss. Still working on the ins and outs because I want to make it really scripturally. I want to come correct with the way the Bible would explain it. The Bible does speak a lot about, you know, it said the marriage bed is undefiled, but it also gives us what is foul, what is not permitted, and it tells us some things that we're just not supposed to do. See, people just read that first sentence and be like, well, we should be able to do anything we want to as long as we both agree on it. And I'm talking about like in the bedroom, and that's we're going to talk about that later on. But what my wife is alluding to is that no, we're not talking about like getting, you know,
we're not talking about swinging, threesomes. We're not talking about, you know, the 800 numbers and the .coms and the secret boxes. We're not talking about all those things because, truth be told, when you have a great love relationship, when you have a good communication, contrary to what others would say, and I would challenge anybody who would introduce this, you don't need all of those outside things. Because I think what happens oftentimes, and this is taking us a little bit to an aside, but that's okay because I guess someone needs to hear it. Sometimes we let the world tell us what we need,
what's acceptable, what's
exciting. And sometimes the reason why people need to bring a little excitement into the bedroom is because they are not tuned into one another.
Exactly.
There is nothing more intense and touching, vulnerable, loving than to find out how your partner works. And how they like to be approached, how they like to be touched, the different ways in which they like to be approached or touched. We haven't exhausted that, and it doesn't have to involve anything kinky or unseemly. I don't need 50 Shades of Grey or Woodard or whatever. And that doesn't make us boring because we have a very fruitful life of intimacy in the bedroom and outside of the bedroom. So no, we are not, just to be clear, well, baby, try this. Well, let's watch this. No. You know what to do. You don't need to watch anybody else do it. Get together, get in each other's presence, and figure that out.
Well, this whole topic is we're talking about, you know, just some really topical things, you know, like taking a long way home, you know, fixing some things. But it's hopefully you're getting the gist of it, is that we're talking about connection. We're talking about, you know, connecting with your spouse and learning, you know, what they like, what they not so crazy about, and then also finding ways how you can make their world, you know, just a little more better. So every day. And once that journey to finding out, you know, what your spouse likes, you know, what makes them laugh, what makes them, I don't know. And then understand, okay, why is that? What is that about? Oh, because this, that, and the third. Why? We never really talked about it. It's been 20 years, but we just really getting to that part. That's what this whole thing is about, is just building that connection, making it stronger, you know, and just acknowledging the fact that, hey, we haven't, you know, gotten as close as we probably could have because we've avoided some, like, taking a long way home so we can have a longer conversation. So we can
see new things.
You know. So that was one. And I like to say, my wife says, like, somebody needs to hear that. And I know that was a long one, but I think it helped me.
It's very important because I have run into people who, in my former work, I've done several things, but as a stylist, I was often a mentor and a counselor and a prayer partner and intercessor and all those things. And you find out what's really going on with people. And I thank God that they felt comfortable enough to share. But what I'm finding out is that people can be married 10, 15, 20, 30 years and they don't tell their spouse how they really feel about something.
That's true.
And they just go along with the get along. And then what we do is pull in other things to try to make it better, when making it better is really us getting closer and getting to know each other. Because when it comes to dating, we date and then we go to the next phase of the commitment, or of the covenant, getting married, and then we just kind of settle into that.
Yeah, we don't
stop pursuing one another.
Yeah, we don't actually make the commitment. Like we just want to make this marriage better every day. You know, yeah, it might have been good 20 years ago, but right now,
I'm different.
It was different. We changed. We've grown. You know, our appetites as far as not just food. I'm talking about a lot of things. Things we like to do, interests, and all those things. So, and that leads us to number 2. Try to take some time to remember why you fell in love. Why? Hopefully you're married for love, and you're married because you were in love, not for love, but you're married because you married
someone that you loved,
connection, somebody you wanted to build with, someone you wanted to grow with in every way possible. So remember those times when you actually had those long conversations where you know, baby, you know, you just said some of the things that just tickled you and things that that you were scared of, you know, might have been, you know, afraid of spiders or something. I don't know. Some of those things
you
that
share
you
your intimate.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't say now because you'd be like, oh, that's so corny. But now I urge you to get back to sharing, you know, how you feel, your dreams, your goals, you know, even no matter what age you are, you know, 50, 60, 70. Get back to the time when you could share. And if you never really actually been to that point,
dating will help you get there.
Yes.
Sometimes you can use something like prompts to ask each other questions. Sometimes there are games that you can play. Now in the digital age, I'm sure there are many things that you could find, but I would caution you to make sure that you find something that's focused on you and the relationship, you and getting to know the other person versus asking, you know, provocative questions that may, you know, spark an argument.
Trigger a trauma, you know, bring up a trauma that might have happened and you're not ready to deal with it right now. This might not be the environment to deal with it. We actually have a guide that has 30 questions to intimacy, and I would leave that link there. And we went through the guide, so it's really questions just that you would ask someone to really just to see, get to know them, and then get to understand, you know, them a little better. You know, it's one guide, it's 30 questions. It's still so much work to do, but I think it gives you kind of a format to be able to say, hey, what about, have you ever felt like this? And if you did, why?
Then let's discuss it. And you don't have to do it all at once, but I think it's great if you both, when you start, make the commitment to do it, to finish it, to be honest, to be transparent, and to make a safe space for each other to tell the truth.
Exactly.
And what you will find in your truth telling is that you get to ask the questions. Well, what, when, why, and how? Yeah. You know, do you trust me? Well, I do. Oh, well, what does that mean? It seems like don't automatically go there. Yeah. What does trust mean to you? Exactly. And was there something in your past that broke your trust with people? Did I bring that up in you? Because it may not begin with you. Yes. But if you don't find out, then you just end up dealing with the fallout. Yes. And then you take it personal, and your partner who is not trusting, when you take it personal and you bark and you buck, it's like, oh, well, now I know I can't trust you because I can't even tell you that I have trust issues. That is so good. That is so good. And it's an upcoming talk that we're going to have. Stay tuned. That's actually going to talk about emotional intimacy and those areas of trust and, you know, and all those good things. So stay tuned for that video right there. So that was number 2. Take some time and remember why you fell in love. Number 3, look, plan ahead and make an effort. Okay, this is just not just, oh, okay, I did this, Vince Naval, and I did that, and I did that, and he still, you know, and she still didn't respond in the way that I thought they should. See, this is planning ahead. We're planning to build the connection, and we're making an effort to do so. Right. And so sometimes if the first time you don't succeed, Try again. Yeah. Make an effort. You know, don't just go through the motions. You know, I done it, and they just turned the TV back on. You know? Yeah, or they didn't receive it, or she acted like she didn't appreciate it, or he took me to this restaurant. He know I don't like this kind of food. Well, baby. Okay. What you do is say, honey, I really appreciate it. You making the effort to bring me out tonight. You know, you try to find something that you do like, and then you can say, instead of don't take me there again, you know what? That was really fun, but I would really like to try Asian food or Brazilian food or whatever. You know, I remember we used to go to this restaurant. You get involved. You don't have to take over, but you plant the idea of what it is that you like. How did you like the restaurant?
Exactly.
It was fun hanging out with you. I'm glad that you did it, but I really didn't like the food. It wasn't my food wasn't that great. And that way you can be honest, because it doesn't work for you if you just like, oh, well, that was great, honey. Thank you. And you hated it. There's a way to say I didn't like it without saying I didn't like what you did. I didn't like I love the effort. We went to our date night this past month, or the first of this month. We went out to eat at a restaurant. We hadn't planned to go to that restaurant, but it was so busy in Durham that we ended up at another restaurant.
That's right.
And we both got some food that we really liked. Your chicken wasn't as hot as the menu claimed. It wasn't spicy, but it was still good. My food was good. And then you surprised me by saying, we're going to go hear some live music. He knows that I just love music. And we got to hear these musicians just jam. There was no singing. There was a trumpet player, piano player, a drummer, an upright bass player. And I was just in heaven. It cost us a few dollars to get in and just sit and watch. But it was wonderful because...
And we didn't know what we were going to do.
No.
I knew we was going out to eat. I had a restaurant in mind, like my wife said. And then that plan, that was like, I went in there. I said, what's your weight? It was like 7 o'clock or something. When it said, it's like 2 hours.
There were 21 people ahead of us.
Did you say 2? And so right then and there, you could have been like, oh, baby, let's just go home and go watch a movie, do something like normal that we would normally just do. Go go to our favorite drive-through restaurant. But we was like, no, we out here about, let's make it an adventure. Let's walk down the street and let's pick something.
Just be.
Let's be.
Yeah.
And then the lounge, the jazz lounge, we went there and just listened to some great musicians. And I was skeptical about that because I'm like, I don't want to be caught out here in a bar or a club or whatever. We
didn't know what the environment was going to be, but it was very chill. Like in a restaurant, there were people there who would, they could have an alcoholic drink if that's what they wanted. But it was a very chill, adult, easygoing atmosphere, and I don't mean adult in the way that the world markets adult. There was no dancing. There were no poles. There was none of that kind of activity.
Let's not talk about that club in Miami.
There were no poles in Miami, but the restaurant quickly turned into a nightclub. We were like, alrighty, time to go. Can I get this to go? But even that was fun because there was live music, and we are music lovers, and we know the environment that we should or should not be in, and it was a safe environment. But what I want to say about that is, until we made the commitment to start dating each other continually, we would do it every now and then, and in the beginning it was sometimes a little rough, and I am the person who, I don't know what I want to eat. Sometimes I really know what I want, but it's not feasible, it's not it's not tangible, depending upon where we are, because we live in a town that we have several restaurants, but it's like all the same stuff. And so we have to go away to do it, and that's not always doable. But my husband knows what I like, and he knows what I don't like, because if he says, how about this? No.
Sometimes I just throw stuff out there.
So I can start saying no.
I don't like no Burger King. Let's go to McDonald's.
This is him forcing me into a decision. I'm going to say all the places that I don't want. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is this. It wasn't always this way, but now when date night comes, he may ask me what I want to do, but more often than not, he has a plan.
I have a go-to because if first of all, we plan date night. It's going to happen. It's going to happen every month. No matter what, it's going to happen. Sometimes we might go out multiple times a month, but I'm saying at one time we're going to go. Okay, we're going to have date night. One time she was sick, and And we still did at home. She was like, well, baby, we know we can just not. No, we're gonna do something.
Yeah.
If you feel up to it, I don't want to drag you. I don't want to make you stay up. Open your eyes, keep your eyes.
Right. Well, we spent one date night. We spent one. Was it? I don't know if it was our anniversary, but something happened, and I wasn't well. And rather than be like, oh well, I guess this is a bust, he spent the entire day in bed with me. We played games, we watched movies, we talked, we did so many things that we could have just skipped over, and it speaks volumes to me that he plans ahead and knows date night is coming, and he doesn't wait for me to do it. Because I'm indecisive when it comes to eating, and he knows that. Know your spouse.
Plan
now,
ahead.
I can tell you I want some seafood. I love seafood. We can't eat that all the time because he doesn't necessarily like it. So I don't want him to settle for fries and chicken strips or something like that at a seafood joint.
I'm not doing that. I find anything. But anyway, so that was number 3.
Yeah, number 4.
Look, be present and truly enjoy your time together.
This one right here.
It's
let me jump in on this.
Okay.
When we see couples out sometimes, our last date night of the year, of last year, December, I think we had to do a makeup. And then we ended up going to your favorite place to get wings, right? And there's this couple that's sitting across from us. And I tell you, it was like this. Yeah. He's sitting here and she's sitting here. Not beside him, but parallel to him. I did not hear a single word from them the entire time. It was eating, slowly chewing, putting the fork down.
It was kind of painful to watch. It's one of the restaurants where you might have to make a reservation if you go at a certain busy time. It was like there's a restaurant where if we go to that restaurant, we want to go enjoy the mood, the ambiance, the company. Not like Hardee's or something where we're just grabbing a bite to eat. Or Hardee's.
Nothing against Hardee's, but no thank you. But the thing of it is, I do realize that sometimes when people go out to eat, it is out of necessity. They could be coming from a hospital. They could be coming from the funeral home. They could be coming from... I understand that there are some extenuating circumstances, but if you look around, it's not hard to find a couple that's not communicating. And that it just seems awkward and painful, and you don't want to do that. Take the time. I remember Dr. Beth? Dr. Beth told us, when you go out on a date, that is not the time to talk about the bills, to talk about the kids, to talk about stress, to talk about problems. You set aside a time to do that. And when you go out, that time is to look at one another. I'll reach across the table and we'll hold hands. Sometimes we might sit beside each other. I kind of like that a little bit more than he does, I think.
Why is it's hard to do this all the time?
Well, we can do it at Perry's though. The booths are big enough. Perry's in Raleigh, North Carolina. If you never tried it, do it. Bless your life.
My goodness.
Yes, baby.
And pork chop.
Oh God.
Oh, I
doesn't
didn't
want
want
pork
you to go
chops,
there and order the wrong thing. Go to the pork. If you like pork, order the pork chop. It'll change. If you have it occasionally, it won't
kill you. It is well prepared.
Okay.
But that is not what we're talking about tonight. Okay. So we want you to be present and enjoy one another, and take the time to listen to what the other person is saying. Look at them, like rest in their eyes for a moment, and hear them, see them, feel them. Ask about their week, about their day. How's it going? What's on their plate? What can I help you do? How can I love you better? This is how you made me feel so great this week. Thank them for something. And reignite that part of you that was so excited to get to know them. Because even though you think, I've been with him 20 years, I know everything about him, you don't.
No, you don't. You don't. And it's you know what? This is still. She's a full-grown woman. This is still my girl. This is she is still my boo. She's still my baby. And yeah, I still, enjoy making her laugh. I still enjoy her company. And even these years, I would say all these years, like it's,
Well, we've been together 25 years, so that's nothing to sneeze at. We've been married for 23. We spent quite a bit of that time being foolish.
Yeah, we wasted
and not
so much
fully
time.
accessing all the benefit of the blessing that love and marriage can be.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And so the last one is make physical touch a priority in your relationship. Now, I'm not saying just, grabbing and always smacking on the booty, every time you walk by, and she be like, well, why do you stop hurting me? You're being aggressive.
Keep your hands to yourself.
No, I'm just like my wife said a while ago when you eat at the restaurant, and sometimes we just reach your hand out, and when you're talking, just make contact.
Yeah, touch his arm. Like sometimes I may put my hand on your knee while we're doing this, so I may take my hand and wrap it around you, and it's not because I'm needy or I have to be up under you. We enjoy making a connection.
Yeah, I believe it's a necessity. Because as a baby, when the baby cries, something about when you pick that baby up and when you pick that baby up and you just hold him. You didn't give him any food or nothing like that. The baby you just held the baby.
I need comfort.
And the first thing like a nurse would do after pregnancy sometimes is to get the baby and let it touch your bare skin. And so just those things throughout the years, we need that comfort. We need that touch. We need that feeling like someone is that close to me to be able to hold me and touch me in that way. It's a movie called Old that it's by M. Night Shyamalan or whatever. And I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't seen the movie yet, but it's one part of the movie where a baby was born, but time moves so rapid, like 20 minutes might be like 20 years or something. I don't know. Time was just moving like really fast in it, and so a baby was born, but the mother was having some complications, and the people were tending to the mother, and what seemed like was only like 5 minutes or 5 or 10 minutes, and when they turned back to the baby was expired. Was dead
for lack of
connection, and they realized the fact that it probably seemed like it was like 10 years for that baby without touch, and so I'm saying that to say make physical touch a priority in your relationship. Sometimes I'm guilty of we're watching a movie, so if the movie has the movie has like a love scene or a lovey-dovey scene, or just a connection scene.
He reaches out to touch me in some way.
I got one right here.
If it becomes sad, I'll get her.
He found her. Yeah. He found her. They were like, I've been right here the whole time.
And believe it or not, I'm a very affectionate, emotional person. I like to, be up under him. Especially, I like to cuddle. He helps me go to sleep at night. Now, some people are like, ooh, cuddle, get off me. Especially, when you get up in age and you might be dealing with menopause and all of that. It's like, no, I don't want to be bothered. But I do. Yeah. I want to be connected to him. We spend we begin our morning with I love you and I'll see you later, and we end our evening with I love you and just resting in each other's arms, even if it's only for a few minutes.
Yeah, because I go to bed early most nights, and she's up late. But I have to get my snuggle in some way. I'm not gonna go a whole day without that hug or that connection. I think you allow room for the enemy to come in when you take the connection away due to the lack of time or lack of convenience. I think you're allowing yourself, you're setting yourself up for possible failure if that continues. I'm not saying you have to make it like it's well, I got my kiss in, I got my chore. No, I'm saying
it's not a chore.
I don't want to have room for error. Because some days I might just go to sleep because I'm just tired. I thought I was going to get back up, but I didn't. Those days right there are so sporadic because make a mental, I prioritize touching.
Right.
In our marriage, and I just want to feel my wife's embrace or touch or whatever before the day is over with. Like to start my day really, and to end my day. So
there's something that I should address. I know we need to close, but there's something I should address when it comes to touch. I was in a women's ministry meeting many years ago, and we talked about some things in this area, and what I found out is some women, they were older women. And I found out from some younger women also that they don't really like a lot of physical affection. And it is up to you. If your spouse doesn't like that, you should not force that on them. And you should not force, well, you need to touch me more. What happens is you need to date one another. You need to talk to one another. You need to pray together. If that's a place where you have found yourself. If you haven't yet, it needs to be, because there's so much power in your agreement and in your unity when you pray for one another and you pray together. If your spouse doesn't like to be touched, something has happened to violate their trust, vulnerability, and their intimacy. And sometimes it may even be something that you've done.
You know what? Find out why. I'm not saying you have to try to convince the person.
Right.
But find out why. That's the journey. That's the journey to dating your spouse again. That's the journey to connection. There are some times my wife doesn't like to be, touched or spanked on the booty or whatever. And I know that. Huh?
Nothing. Zip. I was about to tell too much. That's okay. Go ahead.
I know those times. I know when those times are.
Yeah.
Why? Because she's just felt trustworthy enough to share why she feels uncomfortable in certain moments.
Let's take the mystery out of it.
Okay.
A woman has a cycle once a month. When that time comes, your body's going through all kinds of things, and I don't mind the pat on the behind. I don't mind the rub. I don't mind a little pop every now and then when you walk. I don't mind that. But during that time of the month, it's like, let me be, because I'm going through enough by myself. We don't need no help. And that's just being honest. Those things should not be taboo between a husband and a wife.
That's right.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm all yours, except for let me be by myself.
I know that. I'm cool. I'm like, okay, all right. Thank you for sharing.
And it took him a while to catch yourself, be like, let me hug you instead. Yes, hug me instead, babe. Yeah.
Rose said, hard to eat at Hardee's.
Yeah, Rose. Rose is a nutritionist, a dietitian, and a nurse, so she knows. It's not really not hating on Hardee's, but
thank y'all so much, Tabitha. Thanks very much.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
You so much. And look, once again, I started the video off with this. Look, find ways to date your spouse, and that's just not just going somewhere together and then coming back together. Find ways to connect better with your spouse. That could have been a great title for this.
Can I say something else? Ahead. I'm sorry, I'm so intrusive tonight. I'm a little bit hyper today, y'all. Forgive me. I think that it's important too that we realize in the beginning, we used to go to the movies. Just sitting in front of a screen or watching a movie, that's okay sometimes. But do something where you have to interact with one another and be face to face. Not just sit down and eat. Not just sit in front of a screen and be like, oh, well, that's it.
Yeah, we find new ways
something else into that.
We used to play Uno.
And Mancala. You taught me how to play that.
Games. That's letter game when I was a kid. Going to the rec and playing Mac, if you're there. You remember
Johnny Hall.
Warrensville. But anywho, so now she knows how to play. Sport pickleball. We have a sport. We started taking up table tennis. So
you haven't played with me.
I know, but I'm saying we find new things to do together so we can do them together. The simplest things together. We played Uno by candlelight one time. Yeah, the power went out. What happened?
No, we did it on purpose.
I thought the power went out. No. We did one time when the power was out. I remember.
Maybe so. But anyway, whatever happened, we didn't let it stop us.
Yeah.
And that's the thing we want to say. Don't let it stop you. This was early in our relationship. But get a blanket. Sit on the floor. Get your bowl of fruit or your favorite snack and watch a movie. He would come home sometimes with a container of cantaloupe because he knew I loved it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's so exciting. I'll bring him a Kit Kat. Oh, thanks, babe. Because that's what he likes. You know?
That's funny. It make my jaws go big. Oh, she brought me.
Yeah.
Also, we appreciate you so much, y'all hanging out with us. Look, continue to stay with us. Share this video with someone that you know, and leave a comment again. Like you said, smash that like button. Just let us know, that you appreciate it, and we appreciate you for showing up. And once again, find ways to date your spouse. And never stop it. It never stops. It should never stop.
Make it fun.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime of love and discovery when you make yourself open to it. Don't hide from your spouse. Don't keep secrets from them. Find ways to foster love in your relationship. And Vince is going to leave the link for the questionnaire that will spark conversation for you and your spouse. And until next time, we pray that the Lord bless you, that he keep you, make his face shine upon you, be gracious to you, give you peace, keep you from all hurt, harm, danger, sickness, disease, and virus, and help you along the way as you learn how to pursue your mate. Until next time, we'll see you here again on Couples Pursuit Live.
Bye.
Love y'all.